Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny, and the Juice Man is back. How we doing, Juice?
Danny, I'm feeling a little bit like Kane this week.
Kane?
I'm feeling burned and ridiculed by my loved ones. And
I have no idea why you would feel burned and ridiculed by your loved ones.
well, Danny, I saw the stream on Tuesday,
Oh.
and I have to say, not very appreciative of the vibes that I was given. We'll get to that later on.
I mean, the Till 5 guy, Tanner, just wanted to give you, just in case he didn't know if you were coming back. It was just a just in case. It was supposed to be a tribute.
I heard the words, and words have consequences.
Oh man. All right.
Thank you for the 500 channel points, Killer Tomato. Right.
Before we get started, since you missed Tuesday, I did go over the fantasy rankings, but would you like to go over Monday's scores since you weren't able to let us know? And I know myself and Keverlast don't want to see it, but we'll still listen.
Yes, so hopefully all the kiddies are here gathered around the chat. I'm gonna share the not gonna share my screen or anything, but I did finish Raw about 30 minutes ago, just before the show.
Nice.
So I got the scoring done. So I'm just gonna read off the scores for each person, not individual scores for each wrestler. I'll send you all that individually, but just to clarify for everybody, because some seem confused, my co-host included. It is only negative points when you lose championship, not when you lose a title match.
Oh.
Danny, I lost your audio. There you are. You're back. Okay. You went and then the whole mic blew out.
Yeah, I just went too loud with my O.
Fair enough. But yes, it is only minus points when you lose the title that you're holding. If you're challenging for the belt and you lose, it's not minus points. You just lose the match. You don't get crit points for a win.
Got it. So I only have minus points from Rhea, that bitch.
Yes. So here we go. I'm just going to read them off real quick, and then I'm going to share one little statistic after that.
Okay.
Danny, you scored 9 points on Raw.
Yeah.
Keverlast, you scored 7 points on Raw.
Oof.
Harley scored 75 points on Raw.
Jesus Christ, I knew it.
Jay DeFalco scored 42 points on Raw.
75 points on Raw. Jesus Christ.
Killer Tomato scored 32 points on Raw. Burn from Take 3 Wrestling scored 51 points on Raw. Jim Field scored 19 points. TJ scored 4 points.
Oh.
Tanner from Till 5 scored 37 points. And Notorious, also from Till 5, scored 8 points. So half the league did pretty well, and half the league did not do well. So very interesting.
I took a chance. We'll talk about it later. I took a chance, and literally everyone failed.
The only statistic I will share, and then we can move on, everybody had Rhea Ripley, and so only one person had Io Sky on their team this week, and that is Harley. Got 75 points.
Oh, so Harley chose both Rhea and Io. Smart.
He doubled down on Rhea and Io.
To be honest with you, I would have done that, I think, for everyone if I knew that it wasn't negative points. Like, I thought it was negative points if you lose a title match.
Well, for what it's worth, the point system is shared on the pin post on our Facebook page, which if you're not there, which if any of our viewers are not there, please go check it out. And if anybody wants a refresher on the scoring, please always ask, and I'll send you a copy. Happy to help.
Yeah. Jay DeFalco, we will get into that soon enough. Might as well start with our last point standing. So, as always, this is our Thursday last point standing where we talk about AEW and WWE in the week. This week, special week. We get to not only do predictions for AEW upcoming, but we get to review our predictions for Elimination Chamber that just passed. So we're going to have a lot to talk over tonight. We have 2 prediction pages ready for you guys, and let's get started. Hold on. I lost my timer. Oh, there it is. Oh, wait, I pressed something. That's not good. There we go. We're back. And go.
Kicking off Collision was FTR versus the Undisputed Kingdom, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Personally, my match of the week.
Yes.
I loved it. I thought, and this is including WWE and all across the board, I thought it was the best match of the weekend.
Oh, match of the okay.
Yeah, of the whole week. I thought it was great. I loved the story they were telling. The crowd was hooked into it. I loved the finish where Kyle's foot was on the ropes and Dak was like, nah, we're restarting this. And then they started back up. And then, then they lose. And so that honor kind of cost them. They don't shake their hands. So I'm really intrigued to see where that goes with those two teams. Because, just last week we were saying, Undisputed Kingdom acting pretty heelish. But now I'm kind of thinking, okay, FTR now's kind of being a little heelish. So, like getting frustrated with being the good guys and doing this, looking for a reset. So who knows? Who knows what's coming? Maybe it's just giving them all an edge, which is also helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved the match. I thought it was great. It was awesome. Just no complaints at all.
No,
great.
it was a great match. I was getting a little weirded by them trying to restart because I thought it just took too long. Like I get it and I understand why they were trying to kind of stretch it out. But I was like, you're gonna do it. Just restart it. Like it shouldn't be this much of an argument with it. But besides that, that's the only nitpick to do about it.
Yeah.
The match itself was great. The finishes were good. Both finishes were good. And I really want to see where they go with this because I think now they're going to start kind of bringing back this tag team division. You have FTR, you got Undisputed Kingdom, so hopefully they start revitalizing that again. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
No, and I like that Undisputed Kingdom didn't cheat to win after FTR did the honorable thing. I think that was important. That they just legit beat them.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
that meant more.
I'm just gonna say this once now. I'm very nasally tonight, guys. I'm just getting over a cold. I apologize. Moving on.
Yo, Grody.
Grody.
All right. Oh, it's me still. Yeah. So next up, we had Adam Cole challenging Daniel Garcia for the TNT title, and this one. So this aired right around. I'm trying to remember the timing of everything. Because I tried to watch Collision around the same time I was watching the Chamber. Eventually, my attention stayed with the Chamber just because I was scoring it and whatnot. But I think this match ended right around when Orton came back. Spoiler alert.
That's so
funny.
And
I just remember that happening, and then all I remember seeing was infantry running in the ring, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I just couldn't get a win, and I was like, "All right, whatever." So at that point, I think I stopped watching Collision for the night. I watched it since, but live, I stopped at that point because I just wasn't really paying attention. Going back though, watching the match was good. I enjoyed it. I still think it's a bummer. The finish they did. I don't really know where this is gonna go. At least for the Revolution build next week or this weekend. I don't think they're gonna do anything on the show, which is wild to me. Unless you're doing a crazy multi-man or something.
That's what I think. I think they're gonna try to do some triple trio, but we saw that already too. So do we need to see? I don't know.
That's what I'm getting at. So maybe it's just Undisputed Kingdom versus Infantry. I don't know if we got that one yet on TV, but it'll probably just be that to get them on the show.
Yeah, but then you don't bring in Daniel Garcia. I don't know. That's weird. That's strange.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Revolution card's stacked. So does it need it? No, but it's just really odd to leave these guys off the show.
And to be honest with you, I knew it was going to be some kind of weird finish like that once I realized it wasn't the main event because that should have easily been your main event. So once I realized it wasn't the main event, I was like, great, here's going to be some stupid finish. We're not going to get something clean. I thought it would at least be announced that night that it would be a rematch at Revolution or something, but nothing. So I don't know.
I was thinking a draw. You could that was the perfect time to kind of have these two people where that can't take a loss to do a draw. Listen, I mean, if it's gonna really start pushing Infantry and get them heat and get over, fine. But me personally, Like, I'm okay with Shane Taylor. I like Lee Moriarty. I don't really care for the other two guys, so I don't really care for the act as a whole.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
The
Give
only
them a
reason
shot.
I
Maybe
didn't
they'll
think
show out.
draw
But
was because like you could have still ended the show on a draw. I'm gonna move up a little bit. You could have still ended
well,
the show
yeah,
on a draw.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I was thinking was gonna be something stupid, but whatever. All right. Um.
Yeah, next up, the 8-man tag from Dynamite. Um, I I didn't really care for it in terms of the combination of people in the
Yeah, I was
match.
gonna say it didn't work for me. Like
Like
I
the match
get you're trying to put
itself,
the feuds together, but eh.
match itself was fine. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed watching it.
Yep.
But like with the show coming up, it's gonna sound crazy. I know it's a 0 hour match, but like you got Briscoe and Cassidy in there. Like MXM and Johnny TV have not been on AEW TV in a long time in that way. Put them in that match.
Yeah, at
I
least
don't
one
need
of them.
I don't need to see the Callis family or Brian Keith in this thing.
Yep.
Like I don't know. Like they don't even, just the combination of the 8. I didn't really like. I
It's
thought they could have
almost
done
as
something
if
more there.
the heel team was a warm up for the face team and not like an actual feud
Oh,
for
of
them,
course. Yeah,
which
I
was
mean,
annoying.
listen, I understand the threads that are there. They're doing Orange. They're doing Osprey with the Callis family. They're telling multiple match stories in once. I've seen it before. Obviously, I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it. I just Yeah, I don't know. It was just off to me. I wouldn't have done that combo. I would have done something different personally.
No, I agree.
But
I wasn't too crazy about it. I mean, the match itself again was okay, but like it was weird to me. Also, I agree with you on that.
yeah. And also, I mean, listen, I mean Cassidy and Briscoe, like they were getting beat down there by the Cows family. And like, where was their tag partner from this weekend?
Always,
Hell of a great partner coming
they
out to
do that
help
all
them.
the time though, and it's annoying where like you can still like keep these feuds going a little bit and like people defending them and stuff.
No, I'm talking shit about Big Boom, Danny, not coming out to help them. Moving on. So, next up we have Adam Page and sorry, I didn't hear a word from you for like 30 seconds. I thought
That's
you
all
left.
right. I guess you can't hear these prompts. We now have a double chocolate cookie. Whenever you start bringing up the Costco guys, I press that button, so you'll hear it on the replay.
I did not know that, but now I will just never bring them up. Thank you for that. Next up, Adam Page versus MJF. Heating up, continuing to roll on with the match coming up this weekend. Yeah, the build continues to be good. MJF waiting for him out in the parking lot. But I saw a pic of Pajusa. Yeah, that. All right. So we're gonna pause the timer
Oh,
here.
we're gonna pause.
Um,
Okay, we're gonna
yeah, we're
pause
gonna
really
pause
quick.
the timer here.
Okay.
So that picture is a clear fabrication. Um, I have worked with my lawyers to scrub that image from the internet, never to be seen again. Any continued usage of my likeness,
I guess we don't have it.
any artificial intelligence, will be seen with swift action in a court of law. Um, Thank you for your concern at this time. All right, you can unpause the timer.
Okay, I'm gonna reset the timer because we never really got into it. So I'm just gonna reset the timer and we can start this one over. Go ahead.
Thank you for your fairness. So, Adam Page, MJF, heating up with this weekend coming up. MJF waiting for him out in the parking lot. Adam Page rolling up in his little
Fucking
cyber
stupid. I
cow
hate it.
electric
I hate it so
vehicle.
much.
I don't hate it. I just think it's silly. But I respect you
Those
hating
horns are ridiculously, unnecessarily large. That's a
it.
driving hazard. It has to be.
Well, if Jack Perry can drive that death machine, he can drive that.
Oh my
So,
God, I forgot about the death machine.
Yeah, so then MJF gets a bunch of lighter fluid, starts throwing it on Adam Page, saying, "I can light you on fire too."
That was
You wanna
wild.
light this on fire? I was sitting there going, "Do it," because like
I really thought he was.
where's the line in wrestling, right? Why not?
I think people
No,
have
he
set
was.
people on fire before.
I mean, Jack Perry, hello.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and JR too, of course. It's no bigger than JBL's limo. Oh wow. Yeah, that's true. I guess we should fact check that. We'll get on that. Yeah, I enjoy their story, and I'm really curious. I'm really curious where it goes and how it ends up. We'll talk about it more during the predictions, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
I'm a little on the fence with this one.
I'm on the fence with a lot of them, which we're going to talk about in the predictions. I'm like set on like 3 matches. This match I'm so excited for, just because like the feud's been the feud's been built well. The only complaint I have, and it's nothing to do with the feud, is that MJF I wish just changed up something a little bit. Just give us a little different version of MJF maybe. But I think it's starting to show now, especially this last week, where he's getting a little crazier. He's talking a little more direct. He's not talking like about himself more, where he's talking more about Adam Page and stuff. So I think we're starting to see it. Just I don't want to say too little, too late, but just a little later than I hoped.
Yeah, no, I'll give a little pushback there. I do think since the Jarrett stuff's wrapped up, he's definitely turned the corner and he's gotten better on the mic. I haven't had any problems with his mic work since the Jarrett stuff's been done. That's just me personally.
Yeah,
So I know you're still waiting for it on your end then, but what I was looking for since the Jarrett stuff wrapped up, I feel like I've gotten it from him.
that's
It's
fair.
gotten a lot. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to the match and the build's been good. It's been solid stuff. So moving on,
All right.
we have
Oh, I know you're
Tony
looking forward to this
Storm.
match.
Tony Storm, Mariah May. So for those watching, with the week I've had, traveling to Vegas on business in regards to WrestleMania 41, um, you'll you'll all I don't know why you're laughing,
Is
but
it the press pass?
you'll all see what I'm talking about come April 19th and or 20th. But yeah. So while I was there conducting business,
Oh, that
this
feels
past
so much
week,
better. Sorry for the glare on my eyes, but
oh,
it's helping with the
nerd.
blue light. I know. I know.
Oh wow. Oh, nerd alert. So Tony Storm, Mariah May. So getting back to why I brought up Vegas though, besides the WrestleMania 41 work, I watched Dynamite first and Collision after. So I kind of went in reverse with my timing of watching stuff. Um, so the first thing I saw was the backstage segment where they were kind of talking with each other and Mariah was losing her shit. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess Tony Storm, like, she was sitting kind of stiff and like this. And I thought it was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
And then I watched Collision and saw her sitting in the hospital bed with the neck brace on. I'm like, oh, okay. So she had a neck brace. Like, I kind of like went backwards with it.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like,
You were
but
like, wait. Oh, so she's got to sit stiff because
yeah. So yeah, this is another one where I'm a little bit on the fence, but not as much as the other like MJF and Page, because like this is definitely the end, and they're definitely doing like a Thelma and Louise kind of thing where they're gonna like go off the cliff together and all that stuff, and spoiler alert. Um, but
what cliff? Where's this
yeah, I
cliff
mean with
gonna be?
the because the stipulations already be said like false count anywhere.
Yep.
Da, da, da. So I think they're gonna fall off the stage or a large thing, and whoever happens to be on top of the other is just gonna happen to win, and they're both gonna lay there completely dead at the end of this match.
It's
So
gonna be wild, and I just don't know what direction they want to go in, because like you can make the argument about the title changes, you can make the argument about keeping the title on Tony. Like either way, I don't think it's the wrong call. I think Mariah winning is probably the better call, but
yeah,
I
because
just
here's the
don't know where
thing.
they
I
want
mean,
to go with it.
because again, you'd have to think like whoever loses this, like again, this has to be the end for the two of them directly. So whoever
Exactly.
loses either has to go away a little bit or just get completely shelved. And like Tony just came back, and they're not getting rid of the timeless thing. Like Mariah could use a cool off, but like I don't think she really should. I don't know, so it's tough.
If anything,
But
Tony needs more of the cool off than Mariah. Like they could give
if
Tony more
she
time.
needed it, but she
Yeah,
got
that's what
it.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I
we'll
don't know
see.
where they're gonna go with
Um,
it. We'll talk more about that in a few moments, though.
yes, indeed.
Next up.
Um, So next up, pause the timer really
Oh,
quick.
okay.
Yeah, no, just wanted to really quickly, since we jumped in with everything else, do a quick little bit of housekeeping. I don't think we plugged our
Oh, I was gonna
show.
do that right before the break, but yeah,
Um,
go ahead.
that's all right. We'll throw it in here now while we're thinking about it. Um, if you guys can, if you have a few moments, please do hit the purple subscribe button down below. We do appreciate any and all support you guys can give us. We're currently at 4 out of 10 subs. We'd love to hit 10 just to kind of make some progress in our income here so we can do more for you guys with the show and our little dancing microphone logo up there and whatnot. is just an example of that.
It's
If you have,
also really quick. It's also the start of the month, so if you usually are a monthly subscriber, your subscription might be up. So if you could just double check that and renew, we'd really appreciate it.
I thought you said star of the month. I'm like, what the hell's that? Yeah, and lastly, if you have Amazon Prime, you do get one free sub through Amazon Prime Gaming every month that you can give out to anybody, including us. Costs you nothing, and it helps support us all the same as a normal sub. So please take a moment out of your day, follow the instructions right there in the chat. And if you have any questions, so as always, please do reach out. We will sub for redacted content. Oh, well. All right, next up, let's dive in here with Cope Mox. So I am still on board with this story. I'm loving it. I am really enjoying Cope taking out everybody one by one. I love what they're doing with Yuta and how he took him out by not taking him out, doing his own thing, knowing it would piss off Mox all the same. Basically, the seed was already planted, uh, leaving him standing, basically, not just hitting him with a concerto and now he's out. Because now Yuta can be just as much of a threat on Sunday.
I was gonna say,
Um,
I think that's what So I'm not sure as much that White is gonna directly cost him. I think White's gonna inadvertently cost him because they left Yuta alive, for lack of a better word. So I think that's where this is kind of going, because especially with that White promo right after his match with Caster, I think that just is showing you that like he's gonna be there. His intentions are to help Cope. I really do believe that, and I think Yuta's gonna come out, and that's gonna. I don't think he's gonna outright cost him, because it wouldn't make sense for him to turn on Cope to let Mox win on purpose. I don't think, at least. If his end goal is the AEW title, who cares who's holding it? You know what I mean?
Well, it could easily be who do you think you are coming in? Like, who, why do you get to be the savior or the hero? You don't represent what AEW
That's
is. You
totally fair too.
would be like, there's angles you can take. Listen, I mean, are they going to do it? I'm 50-50. Actually, no, I'm leaning more towards them. They're doing it. With White.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have. Oh, you think they're gonna have Mox lose?
No, with White turning.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, well, we'll get to the predictions in a bit, but yeah, I think especially doing White coming out to get the pop against Max Caster and then do the little promo, I think is obviously by design. It's to
Yep.
keep White on the radar and like, you know, yeah. And I'm really Cope will win and Christian will sign his contract and steal the belt from Cope again. I think I even said that a few months ago,
You did.
and like,
I
I
don't want
wouldn't.
that to happen.
I wouldn't hate it, but I really wouldn't want that to happen because I feel like it would really kill everything the Death Riders was about by immediately like moving it to move it. And I know everyone hates the Death Riders now, but I still do want it to pay off in some way. So
I agree. I still think this Death
yeah,
Riders angle needs to pay off the right way, and I don't think Cope winning is the right way for it to pay off.
no, I wouldn't even hate Cope winning. I would just hate the idea of Cope winning and Christian like just getting it right after. It would be the equivalent of like Darby winning it and then Mox beating Darby for it immediately from Daniels. Just yeah, you can't do that. You can't hotshot it like that. It's one thing to do with the TNT title, but oh, it's the old bell again.
Yeah, I'm changing that. We gotta remember. There we go.
There it is. So many
All right.
bells.
Sorry about
The
that, Killer Tomato. I know you hate that. And Jay DeFalco, speaking of the winner of Ricochet and Swerve, will be telling. Ricochet and Swerve is up next. How do we think about that promo? What do you think is telling from the promo?
Ooh, yeah, I liked the promo. I liked everything they did throughout the night with the scissors and like the stopping of the scissors, pulling out another pair of scissors and stabbing them.
Yep.
No, I did hear what he said about him making modifications or adjustments to
I can't wait to see what it looks like.
to the jacket, and it can't be the first thing I thought was ring gear. Like it can't be ring gear because the thing is like, I mean, it could be, but like if Nana's telling Ricochet to get it back in some way.
Yeah, I don't think it's ring gear. I think he's making modifications to how it looks. I think he's gonna put like in more like a Ricochet thing with like maybe a vest or something. Like I think he's just gonna make it a little more his own. I don't think it's gonna be ring gear.
Yeah, or I was thinking like a baseball cap because he's been wearing the Eagles one lately.
I've been hating the baseball cap look, but I think that
Well,
also is making me like this persona even more because it's working. Every time I see him, I'm like, you look so stupid.
That's the point.
I know it's working so well.
So whatever. I've already said my piece. I'll save it for I'll save it for 2 weeks from now. Because just a quick little alert here for everybody watching. I will not be here the next week.
The whole week.
Next Tuesday or Thursday's episodes. I will be conducting business in Florida. I cannot disclose that information at this time, but I will be back. Danny will still be here holding down the fort with any guest host that he acquires during that time. And just remember, I will be listening.
Applications are now open for guest hosts for next week, by the way. Let me know. All right. So let's get to the main event of AEW tonight. Our Revolution predictions. So on the page now to the side, I hope you guys can see it. The picks are large enough and legible. I don't know if the matches themselves are. But here are all our picks of all 10 announced matches so far. We'll go one by one real quick. So Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe are fighting in what I believe is a handicap match against Johnny TV and the MXM Collection. I still think the conglomeration will win this match, even with their handicap. And so does Juice. Agreed. All right. Next match. We got MJF and Hangman Page. Now, with the exception of the first match, the tag match, and maybe one or two other matches, I am back and forth on at least half this card, if not more. And this is one of the matches where I'm back and forth on. I don't know Hangman Page or MJF. I don't know what direction they want to go in because I agree with Jay DeFalco a little bit. This match, the Swerve and Strickland and the Swerve and Ricochet match, I think those are going to be telling on where they want to go with their story moving forward. And I don't know where they want to go. So for now, I'm picking Page. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning more MJF because I think he would benefit more from a win here at this stage of the feud. Mm-hmm. Like I get they're clearly trying to get Hangman Page over more as a baby from all the heel stuff he's been doing. I think you can do. The crowd would cheer regardless, but I think him losing would help him more. And I also don't think the story's over between them after this show. But yeah, I don't know. Again, this is one of the maybe three that I'm on the fence with myself.
Nice.
But yeah, I right now I just feel like MJF winning would be better, especially with the whole MJF did nothing wrong, versus like the Adam Page did nothing wrong kind of thing. I think it gives him more. And also, again, looking at the card, thinking of faces and heels winning and trying to balance it a little bit out.
That's what I was trying to do also, and I don't know if I did a good job with that. Next match that I'm also on the fence about is the Steel Cage match between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. For now, I'm picking Ospreay, but Ospreay just got the win at the last pay-per-view with Omega, which we thought they were going to lose there. And I don't know. The whole point of this match is to keep out the Callis family. Obviously, that's going to, probably not happen. But I don't know if they give Ospreay the win here or not. I don't know how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I think it's easier to give... Listen, you can always do in here... It's always easier to give somebody the win or give somebody the loss when it's a cage match if they're escaping and not getting pinned. So, I mean, that's why even if you do Ospreay... this is another one I'm on the fence about. This is another one where I think this is one I'm most likely to change. I do think that Fletcher winning would be better for him at this point, especially because he lost at World's End. And also, even though it's in a cage, it doesn't really do anything. Because if I recall, when Callis turned on Omega, it was also a cage match, and he found his way in. So, I mean, the Callis family will find their way in.
I do agree with you where I do think that Fletcher and I do think Fletcher benefits more from the win here. So I do think it should be Fletcher. Will it be Fletcher? I don't know. we'll find out.
Mhm.
Next up, we got the number one contender match, which I love that it's a number one contender match, by the way. We have Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. Another one where I'm on the fence because I could see them giving Ricochet the win here just to change it up a little bit, keep Swerve out of the title contention. Maybe he gets the row back, but not the win. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know how that's going to play out this weekend.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident with this one. This is not one I'm on the fence with. Yeah, of course it could go the other way, but I do think Swerve is going to win, but not get the row back.
Interesting.
I think that's the more compelling story compared to the other one. I
And
think
then that really pushes Nana away from him
that
also.
pushes Nana away, and then again with Dynasty being the next pay-per-view, a year since Swerve won the belt, I think it's still the best way to have Swerve win here, get the title shot against Moxley at Dynasty to play off the 1 year ago, and I'm going to do it here now. So yeah, I
Totally
feel
fair.
pretty good with Swerve. And also, this was before I was already set on Swerve like for a week ago, but
I do
then
remember
especially after last night, when Ricochet pinned him, even though he cheated. I mean, Ricochet pinned him.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do it again. But that's exactly, I guess, what they want you to think. But yeah, I'm going with Swerve.
All right. Maybe there'll be a swerve. So, next up, Jay DeFalco, you are 100% right. No faith in the Outrunners. If this is what the tag team title scene was set up for, to take it away from Private Party to give it to the Outrunners, I don't believe Hurt Syndicate's like a transitional champion like that. If they were going to do that, I think they would have just had the Outrunners beat Private Party, which would have been a fun match in itself. So, yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. Hurt Syndicate wins. They have, obviously, bigger feuds to go to. I would love if they gave Outrunners the win here, but I just highly doubt it.
Yeah, this is one where I absolutely want to be wrong,
I would love to.
but yeah, it's so early in their reign, and I think they've only defended once so far.
Yeah.
So, if at all, right? Oh, did they
I'm
defend?
trying to think. You said once. I'm like, who did they defend against? I just believed you, so I said yes.
Was it the Hounds? No, they didn't fight the Hounds yet.
I don't think they defended yet, but we'll look that up.
Yeah.
Next up, I think another no-brainer: Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. Did I say that right?
Close. Watanabe.
Not close. So, I'm gonna call her Momo. That's easier. So Moné versus Momo, and I think we both see Moné winning. I don't understand why Momo would win and take the TBS title away. So, another no-brainer. I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that.
Not really. I mean, they've been doing this stuff with Mercedes and Billy Starks on TV lately. I think it's them getting us ready for Athena and Mercedes at
That's what I
All
would
In
hope. That would be
Texas.
great.
We can get into that another time, but unless Athena's gonna play into this, yeah, Mercedes.
I was gonna
is
say that would
rotate.
require Athena to actually be on AEW TV, though. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we both, and I don't know if you feel confident about this pick, but both have a new champion this weekend when we have Kenny Omega winning the AEW International Championship from Konosuke Takeshita. But
Scared there.
I am not that I'm gonna blame on the nose. I'm gonna blame that on my stuffed nose because I actually can say his name. I've said his name.
That's you. That's you.
Oh, that got me. So, I am not 100% confident in this pick though. I don't know if Omega's I don't know if I'm going to be changing this pick before this weekend. I do think it's setting up for Omega win. I do think they kind of want to move Takeshita on to like the more main event level feuds and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready for him to lose it. I'm ready for Omega to take it. I feel confident with this one. I'm not changing. This pick's not changing.
Interesting.
Unless something crazy comes out of Collision, which by the way is pre-taped.
Yeah,
I don't know this.
yeah.
I don't know spoilers, but
for those of you that
yeah.
don't know, me and Juice really try not to look at spoilers. We do try to watch it live and like be genuinely surprised and stuff. So yeah, don't spoil.
We try, but
try.
yeah. Usually, if anything big happens anyway, it leaks. So whatever. But,
all right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm good on Kenny.
Okay,
No, I'm
cool.
I'm reiterating. I'm good on Kenny.
The match I think I might be looking forward to the most: the Hollywood ending match for the AEW Women's Title. Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Right now, we're both split. I might change it before the weekend. I don't know. But yeah, Tony Storm, Mariah May, like we were talking about before, this could go either way. I really, I want them to go Mariah May, but TK loves Tony, so I don't know if TK will keep the belt on Tony and let her ride into the new champion or what. Like I don't know how they're gonna play it.
Yeah, and it's fine. You never really change, I feel like. So we'll see if you actually do.
I
But
usually don't change, but I am definitely
yeah,
at least changing one of these because there is one, two, three,
and
4, 5. There's
like,
5 matches out of the 10, exactly half of them that I'm just like, if I see something on Collision, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm changing.
yeah, this is the third for me. This is the third match that I'm on the fence about. Everything else I feel pretty confident with. So I'm still thinking about this one too. This is probably the hardest. Yeah, this is the hardest of the three that I'm on the fence with
That's so funny.
because
They're all.
I think because there's a title involved.
That's
So
fair. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of already said before what I think is gonna happen. Regardless, I just don't think I don't know who's gonna be the one that's on top.
exactly.
But
Oh,
for now, it's Mariah. So we'll see.
all right. And then the last 2 matches, I think we kind of talked about, and we already even said for the at least the AEW World Title match, what we thought was even going to happen. So we think Moxley's retaining, and Okada and Brody King were just added this past week. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. Also, where Okada retains, there wasn't like a big build-up for the feud. I don't see Brody just taking it out of a nowhere build-up. So I think Okada retains for that one also.
Yeah, it'd be great if it'd be nice surprise if he did. But I mean, yeah, after the
That'd be dope.
classic, I still think we're on this collision course where even though it's only March, I think they're just gonna keep they're getting us ready for Okada and Omega, and they're both gonna be the champions going into that. So
I think so also, yeah.
yeah.
All right. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, those are our picks. They are subject to change until Sunday at the start of the kickoff. We have until to change it, so we'll see next week. I'll introduce it with no juice, and we'll see what happens.
0 hour. Use the
Oh,
right
I
name.
said kickoff. I apologize.
How
Terrible.
dare you?
Terrible me.
How dare you?
All right, so we will be right back after this commercial break, and we will be talking about WWE, so please don't go anywhere.
Ah! 2,
Hello and
1,
welcome back,
0.
everyone, to another episode. Oh, I'm sorry, to our continued episode of the SharpSHOOTers. You threw me off with the counting juice. I don't know why you started counting out of nowhere, you son of a bitch. So,
What day is it?
we're Thursday, I believe. I believe you'll be back just for today and then gone for a whole week. It's so sad. So, we're starting our WWE portion of the show. Juice has been so excited to talk about WWE this week. He had a fantastic Saturday. It literally made his weekend, and he's been foaming at the mouth, ready to talk about his feelings and his thoughts. So we just have to get right into it. But before we talk about Elimination Chamber, something strange happened on SmackDown that I wasn't too crazy about, not only because of fantasy, because it totally fucked our fantasy, but because it was just a weird thing to do to have the same result. For anyone who didn't see SmackDown, it was scheduled to be an LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura match for the U.S. title, which night of they switched to a weird U.S. title tournament where they had 3 separate singles matches that, surprise, surprise, ended in a triple threat match that LA Knight won anyway and is now the number 1 contender. I didn't read any reports. Was Shinsuke not able to make it? Like, what happened? I assume that's what happened because we didn't see him the whole night.
So, apologies that I don't recall his name, but yes, thank you, Killer Tomato. Someone over in Japan, one of his colleagues passed away. It was a
Got it.
legend in the business, and he wanted to go and be at the funeral, at the service. So,
God,
pretty
makes a lot of
sure
sense.
that's it. But yeah, so obviously at first, my first thought was, Road Dogg booked that terrible of a SmackDown, so this was Triple H kind of stepping in, going, okay, no, we're not doing that match. We're gonna do this to earn it and give him the win. I still think it's likely Knight wins it. I mean, I'm just thinking about Mania, but who knows? I guess
Yeah, I
we'll
don't
find
know.
out
I
this
don't know how
Wednesday.
they're going to do that. And what I was also confused about is then what could they possibly have booked the rest of the show for? Because they just took out most of the show to do a random tournament. So, like, how badly booked was the show?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, he stepped in. What else did he change? Apparently, there was something else on the show that he completely cut and changed. I can't recall now, but
That's so
yeah,
funny.
He's definitely stepped in, and apparently his fingerprints are all over SmackDown.
No bueno, Road Dogg. No bueno.
They cut out the good parts. Yeah, they cut out all the parts where your team could have scored, Tom.
Yeah, pretty much. Crazy. All right, so that was SmackDown. Really, nothing else big happened on SmackDown because the U.S. title tournament took over everything. So now we go to Elimination Chamber. I'm not going to really talk about the Trish Stratus match like we talked about before. It was just to get Trish a win, so no reason to waste time on that. The KO Sammy match. How did we feel about the entire thing? Because that was not a bloodbath, but that was a gore fest in a sense. That was a spot fest. It was crazy some of the moments they were doing. I wish there was more blood to kind of signify how serious the match was, especially because I saw a report that, and I don't believe it, but they said that the barbed wire chair wasn't gimmicked, that it was like real barbed wire. I was like, bullshit. If he went face first into that, he would have been bleeding like a fountain.
Yeah, I ain't buying that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's WWE at this point, so they're not gonna just make him bleed.
Yeah.
It's only gonna be for the big moments, and it wasn't gonna be there. Basically,
Cody gets hit with a belt, he bleeds like a stuffed pig. This guy gets hit with a barbed wire chair and barely has a prick.
I didn't. How dare you? I didn't really like the. I get it because it's unsanctioned. I didn't really like the lights being off, like dimmed like that, especially with that big of a crowd and them fighting all over. Put the lights on, whatever.
It was silly.
Roads bleed when they sneeze. Well, yeah, that's very true.
I also think that the referee was a little more involved than he should have been.
I didn't think so. You mentioned that when I was watching it. I didn't feel like he was. I think he was okay. Right. I think it's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you saw something I didn't, but it seemed like he was all right. Like he wasn't like, come on, get him back in the ring.
He wasn't doing stuff like that. I was just like, you don't need to check on him all the time. It's unsanctioned. Like, you're supposed to be there just to make the count. Stop. Like,
well, he is supposed to check for knockout. So I mean,
all right,
he could check. Yeah, whatever. Either way, I liked the match overall, I mean, they've done better.
I was gonna
Two of
say,
them
was it
also,
the best match you've seen of them? No.
no, and they've done better. And I mean, it definitely had its ups and downs. We thought Owens was going to do it, Sammy was going to do it.
Yep.
So overall, I liked the match. I thought it was definitely my favorite match of the night at the Chamber, between the four of them. But my problem, as I kind of said here last week, I'm pretty sure, is the post match stuff, where Randy Orton comes back and they wait until after the match and during way deep into this like stretcher job beatdown crap, and then Orton comes out, and it's just like I hate that because it's like come back during the match, like play a role that way, do something there. I don't even, and I'm gonna say it now, I'll say it again, and probably I don't even care about the predictions of what was right or wrong. That's really not what it's about. It's just about logical booking. Even if Orton came back and then Owens did what he did and still won, fine. I hate that because it diminishes Owens doing what he does to Sammy. It comes off as 50-50 booking to keep the crowd popped and happy and high and up. Like, let them feel angry and mad and sad that Owens did this to Sammy in Toronto, and like wheel him out and like let that settle, let that sit. So that's why I got annoyed with Orton coming back then. But
No, and I 100% understand that, and I agree to an extent. Like I called it, so I knew Orton was coming back at that point. I do think they waited too long for the post match. I don't think, and I never thought, because they usually don't. I didn't think he was gonna come during the match because it's a baby face, so you kind of try to have like the baby face like do his battle, let Sami Zayn try to win it on his own, and then after the match when Sami doesn't win, when he's defeated, then you're supposed to save him from before he got put on the stretcher, pretty much before he got taken out, and like that was the annoying part.
Yeah, because it's annoying. Because yeah, oh great, Orton came back to save Sammy, and then on Raw they're like, oh, Sami Zayn is out indefinitely.
Exactly.
So then Orton coming back did nothing.
Didn't save
Sammy.
Exactly.
It did that's what it bugs me.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, just don't bring Sammy out at all. Then.
Exactly. I agree with
That's
that.
all.
And I the only part I do like from that though is that they didn't give us the punt. That they're saving up the punt, that it's gonna come back eventually and it's gonna be like the big dramatic thing. So I like that part at least, but still it was very strange. I agree. All right, moving on. So, by the way, while we talk, I'm going to flash our prediction results. So, like, I just flashed the results for our KO and Sammy. Now we have the women's elimination chamber match. Started off pretty hot. We were talking in the chat, and I was saying like, does Jade come out right now? And literally, as you sent no, Jade's music hits and she comes out. A lot of people are torn on what they saw, because then people are saying replays and stuff, and now they're saying that it was Bianca, now they're saying maybe it was Naomi, now we don't know who it was, yada, yada, yada. I like how they did it, where they had, like, Naomi look confused, not scared. Naomi looked confused. And they had Alexa saying, like, I mean, not Alexa, sorry, Liv saying, it's not me, not me, not me, and then they beat the shit out of Naomi. I thought the beatdown was pretty good. And then the rest of the match kind of went from there. I thought it was a pretty decent match for the women's elimination chamber. I think it was one of the better ones. I do like the winner. I understand what you were saying, though, and I'll let you speak about that in a second, of how you felt about giving Bianca the win there. But I do like that. I think Bianca was the only one who didn't really have a path for WrestleMania, and this gives her like a good one. So we'll see how that goes. What do you think?
Yeah, so I didn't mind Jade coming back at all. I didn't mind the spot. I actually really dug the spot. I think it helped ignite the match the whole way through.
Yep.
The match was good. It was probably the best women's one. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but there have been some stinkers. So this one was actually really good.
Agreed.
Especially the final two. Bianca and Liv killed it.
They were so good. They really were so good at the end.
It, man. And
those were our final two, by the way. Toggle that back.
Yeah. I didn't really get I get Liv acting the way she did. I don't really think if Naomi looking confused, maybe more just like, oh shit, I'm caught, kind of. Because if she was confused, I don't know. I know it's different interpretations of how they're looking at each other, how they're
Yeah.
reacting and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me still doesn't trust Bianca in all this. Obviously, until we hear more on Friday. Um,
Well, I don't know
my
if you saw the preview or if you saw the replays, but they were all saying like Bianca was
I
taking
did.
off her
I did.
jacket to
I
make it
did.
seem
I
like
did.
she was getting ready to fight.
Yeah.
So
No,
by
I
the way,
did.
great actress. I love like
Yeah.
I obviously we knew she was overacting and stuff, but like she was great in the chamber while like Naomi was getting the shit kicked out of her. I thought she was acting very well.
Yeah. So my last thing I'll mention is I while I loved all of that, my initial thought right away was this is going to be the perfect setup for whoever beats Bianca at the very end. Because, like I said with Orton, it's kind of the same thing here where it's like, okay, you just set up this huge moment, this huge betrayal, where now it's like it's in Bianca's head. Like, oh my God, how is she going to overcome and win and beat this with all of this on her mind? And I don't hate it as much as the Orton thing because at least you can say, okay, she overcame. She's a babyface. But it's like, I think it would have meant way more if that moment, 20, 30 minutes later, came back and was what you could say ended up costing her going to Mania.
A distraction,
And
yeah.
yeah, granted, we don't know how this not do that moment at the end, but like let it obviously it's in her on her mind and
Yep.
upsetting that this happened to her, and she can use that in promo work later. So like I don't know where the story's going. We'll get to the Raw. So actually, I don't even think you have that on here, but I'll just mention it now. I don't know where Io, Rhea, and Bianca and all that's going at the moment, but like
Oh yeah, I
personally,
forgot to put that on there. Wow.
I don't even think Bianca should have been in the chamber. I don't even think Liv should have won the chamber. Knowing what we know right now, Io should have won the chamber.
Yeah.
And it should
Agreed.
have just been Io versus Rhea at Mania.
Agreed.
Let Bianca be with Naomi and Jade in some whatever three-way. Let Liv and Raquel defend the tag titles against whoever. I think that is the path you should have taken. Whatever they're doing right now, we'll see where it lands. I'm
It's not going to
not
be
crazy
as
about
good
it at
as
all.
what it could have been. And I agree with that
Because
100%.
again, like Orton coming back negating the Sammy thing, I think Bianca just winning completely negates the moment and the pain that Bianca should be feeling.
Yeah.
That's why I'm waiting to see how things turn out. Like if Bianca's the mastermind and the one planning this and setting up Naomi, and fine, I can let this roll. But at the moment, I just don't like it.
All right.
Um,
All right, moving on to just the match itself. How did we feel about the men's elimination chamber match? Those were our predictions. John Cena and CM Punk. What did we think?
yeah, I didn't really care for the match. I honestly didn't.
I thought the same thing. It was a little boring.
Yeah, I didn't really care for. I don't care for Logan or Priest, um, at all. And the only thing that really got me going was when you got Punk in there, surprise. But then the stuff with him and Cena, and then like I will give credit though, like when Rollins did what he did to Punk, I got fucking pissed. I was like, you piece of shit. Like it fucking got me good. I was like, you motherfucker. Like he's sitting there yelling die and he's doing this. I was livid. So which I'm supposed to be. So
Yeah, of course.
good job. Good
So
job, I guess. But
the few things I'll say is, it's a problem when I'm more entertained with what CM Punk is doing with a light fixture in his pod than I am with the actual match itself. And I was looking for CM Punk in his pod because every like once in a while I kept seeing him like do something with it. So that's an issue.
yeah, I didn't catch any of that till after the show.
Oh,
and
that
I
was
saw
so
him.
funny. It was
Yeah,
I saw it
I
happening
didn't.
during. It was great. I do think it picked up when like Seth got in and stuff. The final three, Seth, Cena, and Punk were obviously really good. I loved the stomp. I thought I came out of nowhere. Like none of us saw that coming, and I thought that was perfect. And then I'm not
Piece
gonna
of
lie,
shit.
man. I didn't call it on the spot, but I looked at producer John and I said, "Yo, that's so weird that Cena did not even blink. That's so weird that Cena said, 'Oh, here's my moment.'" That's not what Cena would normally do, but I was like, you know what? He's really on this path that I have to go to Mania, so like, I'm not gonna look too much. Like, I wasn't thinking so far into it, and then we'll get on to what happened later in the night. But that
Yeah.
like cemented it for me. But yeah, no,
He's done that before though, where he's like looked around really quick and then grabbed them. He's done it before.
but that's usually when it's against like a bad guy. That's like when it's against someone that we don't mind it happening. That's when something like not too cheating happened. This was outright like, oh, you're supposed to be mano a mano with Punk, and then CM Punk took, and then Seth Rollins took him out, and you were just like, I'm gonna capitalize instantly without like, I don't know. It seemed weird to me, and then obviously whatever happened. But yeah, no, I thought the match was kind of boring. I thought the women's match was a lot better, and until the end, I was wasn't paying as much attention as I thought I was going to. So we'll get into what happened after the match later on, because that's our like main segment, I think. Let's move on to Raw really quick, because there's a few things from Raw, and we are going to talk about Rhea and Io a little bit if you want to. I just forgot to add that segment, but I think they killed American Made last on Raw. To be honest with you, I think this is classic booking with WWE, where you're giving a team or a person multiple shots. They're losing it multiple times in a row, and now it's where do they go from here? Because you built them up really good, and I thought that was like a lot of people, we thought that was their moment on Monday where they could start winning these belts and kind of being that faction, and then they just completely demolished their entire little push.
Yeah, so I can tell you where they're going. Right back to Orlando, Florida, developmental, please.
I think so.
The Creed brothers are not ready. They're not. Every match I've seen them in, they're just like sloppy. Like they hit some exciting stuff, but they're very loosey in there. They're not ready to be up yet. And honestly, Ivy Nile, after last night, I'm out on her. I'm done.
Yeah, Monday night was a bad match. And
yeah, so I watched Raw today. By the way,
you're falling for my trick, exactly. You're falling for what I fall for. Yeah. But no, and that's funny, because I think last week or 2 weeks ago we were saying how like we want to see Ivy Nile with this feud. Like we thought she was on her way up. We thought she was doing like she was making strides, and then the match on Monday was just like oof. How like wrong I was.
if I was in the back and I was Vince McMahon, like that'd be it. I'd be like, all right, that was your shot. Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of how it has to be in wrestling. Like that was your opportunity to go out there and listen. I mean, the crowd wasn't great either on Raw.
That's fine, but you're a big reason for that.
They did not give a shit about either of those title matches, like at all.
Yeah,
and
the tag title match wasn't terrible. Exactly, it wasn't terrible.
It was okay.
But like,
it really wasn't that good.
It would have been better if the fans got into it.
Women's match was not good, and I don't blame Lyra there. So
agreed.
Yeah, I'm over them.
All right. Going to a feud that I really have no idea where we're going with this. Punk and Seth has been announced for Monday night. So if anyone didn't watch this past Monday, Punk came out, cut a promo against Cena and The Rock and stuff like that, and then Seth came out and they just started fighting right away, fighting all over the building, yada yada yada. And then at one point, probably middle of the show, Pierce separates them, kicks them out, and says, next week you got your match. So Punk versus Seth is happening next week. What the fuck? In a cage. I forgot about that. In a cage.
Very important.
Which should be the end of a feud, if I'm correct. Steel cage match.
Again, this is another thing where I will let it play out, but like just like Rhea and Io, this is why the WrestleMania 41 build has been so shit.
Yep.
Like this match should be at WrestleMania.
Yep.
It's perfect. And Roman, God knows what they're gonna do with him, if anything.
Where's he honestly been?
I honestly don't even think he's gonna be on the show. Like, there's not much time left, and yeah, they can insert him anywhere, but like to make it even half a damn matter, a Roman match, he's got to show up like now.
I think he shows up for this match. I think he interferes and costs Seth the title, or costs Seth the match. Because I really still think, bro, that Punk is in the title match, because otherwise I just don't understand, and we talked about this when it first happened, what's the point of the favor?
Yeah. Well, what's the point of anything, man? I mean, look at the Elimination Chamber. Like, Io didn't even have to do the chamber, and freaking Bianca wins the chamber, and then Io wins the belt, and now Rhea's gonna get inserted. So nothing matters, man.
Yeah,
Wrestling's fucking stupid.
it's
You get,
fake.
I'm getting warm. I'm getting warmed up. You getting
Oh
I'm
God.
fucking.
Oh
Oh,
God.
I'll
All
tell
right.
you. I'll tell you, man. I will say the beginning of Raw with Punk coming out, like angry,
Got
mad
you
Punk
fired
is
up.
that got me fired up.
Got you
That's the
fired
kind
up.
of Punk, man. When he's got that little fire in him, he just going that gravel in his voice and shit. Like that's fucking Punk, not little happy-go-lucky. Hey, everybody, how you doing? So, very good promo from Punk to kick off the show, going after The Rock and
I loved it.
Cena and Seth. Yeah, I just don't see the thread of Punk yet with Heyman in the title match just yet, but we'll see. To be continued.
I mean, I don't see it either. I'm just saying I don't understand what other road you go with that. So
Who knows? Because now it looks like Logan and AJ. So
yeah, right? I don't get it. All right.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
real quick, going on to something where I think we could also talk about Rhea and Io after this. Breaker and Judgment Day looks like this is going to be a weird feud going on. I don't know what they're doing with Finn. I guess AJ they're taking away from that. They were rumored to be there. I still think Aleister Black's going to be the one to take over Judgment Day. So where does Finn go with that? Does Finn win the belt off Braun Breaker? Like, where are we going with all this? Because is there now feuds that are just coming out of nowhere? Which again is a problem because now we don't know where they're building up for WrestleMania 41, which is not that far away.
I wish I could nuke the Judgment Day. Like, just put them in the nuke, blow up the nuke, and then drop another nuke on that nuke. Like,
That's aggressive.
I cannot stand. Like, I skipped the segment because it's the same fucking
fair.
segment they do every week. I'm sure they did it again, where they all sat there, they all passive aggressive. Oh my god! Like,
And then
how
they
are
attack
any of them?
someone, and then it didn't work out.
How do any of them not rip their eyes out? Like, it's so.
Well, I mean, they're
Yeah,
building for the Balor breakup. Just where does it go from there? Like,
creatively bankrupt. Just fucking
Don't
do
get
it. Like,
yeah.
it's the same shit every week. There's no advancement. You're just playing. You're hitting replay every time.
And
That's
then
the problem. It's
and
not
then they're
building.
taking Breaker into this now. So like they're taking Breaker out of that AJ Styles potential feud. I guess they're putting him with Finn, which leads me to believe they're going with a multi-man match because I don't think they have enough time. Like I don't know.
They're gonna go. They're gonna do like Braun and Dom, and then Finn's gonna cause Dom, and that's the moment. That's what they're gonna do. Or they're the other way around. Do Braun and Finn and Dom cost them, but it's probably gonna be Dom.
All right, well, it's going to be
I don't know.
terrible no matter what.
I don't know.
So
And I
we'll
don't think
see
I
where
don't
they
think
go from it.
and they're not putting Malachi with the freaking Judgment Day because that'll never work. That is a clash and a half.
Oh no, we'll
It's
see.
not gonna work because they're black and purple. No, I'm sorry.
We'll see. I don't know where else they're gonna go. Let's take these last 40 seconds. The Rhea Io match. How do we? Any other notes from that?
Yeah, stupid. I'm sorry. Like, listen, you have rules as a company, and it's one thing in AEW when they do the referee's discretion thing.
Oh,
They've
God.
established that a referee can do that. In WWE, you never do referee's discretion. It's never. It's always if they interfere, that's it.
Yep.
So you can't pick and choose for the moment and then never do. Because now next week, I guarantee you, sometime next week on Raw and SmackDown, they're going to do the same kind of moment. And ding, 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 ring the bell. It's over. So I'm sorry, man. I'm not. No, like stupid. But mine EO winning. I don't fucking know, man. The whole thing's a mess. It's so shot.
And I think that's the problem. It's that I don't know if I'm excited or not excited about Io winning because it just doesn't make sense in the story. I'm glad Io got a belt. I love Io. She's champion. That's great. So now she doesn't have a feud because really the problem is between Rhea and Bianca. So now you have a champion that doesn't have an issue with anyone because everyone else has an issue with each other. And we're a few weeks away from WrestleMania 41. So now she's going to get inserted into another feud. Like, that doesn't make sense either, but they have to do that in order to get the belt on the card. It's too convoluted for its own sake. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Like, I mean, he said it on the post show for Chamber. If your plan really was to incorporate the Who Beat Jade who took out Jade's storyline into this WrestleMania World Title build, and you're a shitty booker, which we already
Yeah,
knew. But
there's
like,
no
come
reason
on,
for
man.
that to be
There's
in the
no
title
connection.
picture.
They were on two different
Yep.
shows, like two different wavelengths.
That's so stupid.
Like, you clearly pivoted because people were tired and bored of Rhea and Liv.
Yes.
And that's
well,
where
and the
we're at
reason
now.
people are tired and bored of Rhea and Liv is because that's all you shoved down our throats for 4 or 5 months.
No.
So like,
of course, I'm not arguing that.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just.
All right, now that I got you nice and riled up, Juice, let's see if it's worth the squeeze. So after the men's elimination chamber, we had Cody Rhodes come out, and this is, I promise you, this is when I knew. I turned to John and said, Cena's turning heel here. We had Cody Rhodes come out, congratulate Cena. They do their whole whoop-de-doo. The Rock, the final boss, comes out with Travis Scott by his side, like a little Robin to his Batman. And they offer Cody the soul in exchange to be his champion. Cody, in a very Christian-esque, says, go fuck yourself, final boss. And Cena gets all cheerleady happy, gives him a hug. As he gives him a hug, The Rock gives him a look, and Cena turns heel for the first time in my opinion, 15 years. The Guinness Book of World Record apparently says 20 years, but the first time in pretty much his entire career that Cena is a actual heel. What are your thoughts, Juice?
All your kids, your wives, your loved ones, gather them around the fire, because I have a story to tell.
Oh my God.
One that began long ago in 2002. When a man named John Cena debuted against Kurt Angle and yelled ruthless aggression at him, tried to fight him. I knew on that very day that this man was an asshole. He was a fraud, a liar, and a demon.
Oh,
I've watched enough episodes of Total Divas in my day to see the real John Cena in this house, his rules, his controlling ways.
Oh, those have been all over the internet, by the way, all those clips.
I'm aware. Put them there. And I made it clear back in 2008 outside of Madison Square Garden. Told all the children, John Cena doesn't love you. He does not care about you. He's only in it for the money. All the Make-A-Wish grants, all PR.
All PR.
He's a liar and a cheat. He always has been. This heel turn that you all claim he made last Saturday, this is nothing new. This is just John finally being John in front of all of you. The real ones always knew. John Cena sucks.
John Cena sucks.
Tell me when I'm wrong. Yeah, I still don't understand. Like, Travis Scott.
Yo.
What?
He slapped the shit out of Cody Rhodes' eardrum.
He ruptured his fucking eardrum. Like,
that's
what are we
wild.
What are we doing? I am so over this. Like,
so what if this is leading?
Because here's the thing. No. I'm not done. Like, okay, so now you do this huge fucking moment, and rather than get John Cena or The Rock or even fucking Travis Scott himself on the TV to talk about it, you replay the moment in video segment clips like 8 times in 2.5 hours on fucking Netflix.
Yes, it was.
You waste. Like, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee have put more work into this heel turn so far than John Cena himself.
I agree with that.
Like, he flew to fucking Budapest or some shit, like, or Hungary, or
I don't understand how you don't do something. At least do like a video of you and The Rock going on like a private jet somewhere. Like, do something to be like, I'm too good to show up to Raw tonight, yada yada yada. Like,
and he's
something.
not even on. he's not even on TV for 2 more weeks now to even talk about
That's
this.
what I'm saying.
And
It's
it
very
kills
silly.
all the momentum, and I just don't care because like he shouldn't win. I think that needs to be the point. He shouldn't win at Mania because to go to Mania and get the record-breaking 17th world title reign as a heel now after all this time you do it, what it's gonna ruin the
Hey, we've
moment
been
and the
asking
legacy
for it
of it.
forever. All right, now that we get it, we complain.
Yeah, we do. Fuck off. All right, like it's fucking way too late. It's after the fact. Everything's done now. Like you're on your fucking victory lap. All right. Did you want fucking Red Sting with the Crow and the fucking NWO at
Hey,
the end?
Red
No,
Sting was cool, bruh.
you wanted Sting to play the fucking hits and be Sting.
That's
all
totally
right.
fair. That's totally fair.
Like I don't need. I don't. We.
What if this is leading? Hear me out. Don't sign off. What if?
No, I'm not going to sign off.
You might sign off. What if this is leading to a 6-man tag, 3-on-3, where we have The Rock, John Cena, and Travis Scott versus Cody Rhodes, Shawn Michaels in place of Triple H because Triple H can't wrestle anymore, and our real savior, a returning Bad Bunny.
You hear yourself, man. I mean, come on. Like, all right. Jay says he sells his soul to win and loses at Mania. Rest of his run is redemption arc. You know what? That's the problem, man. Like, I have
not my Cactus Jack.
To see a freaking redemption arc, man. I mean,
we already saw it. I don't need to see another redemption arc. Like, we saw him finish the story. That would be kind of the same thing as like him doing this again with them. Okay, so my quick take, I don't mind the heel turn. I really don't mind the heel turn, only because I didn't want Cody to turn heel for the stupid story, so I don't mind Cena turning heel for the story. I like the way they did it. I think it shocked a lot of people. A lot of our friends that we talked to were stunned that it happened. A lot of kids are very, very sad. I'm not going to lie. It might sound evil. All those videos that parents are posting of their kids like hysterical crying and throwing their toys down the stairs, I think is fucking hilarious, and that's what wrestling's kind of about. With all that being said, the problem, like you said, is that they're not capitalizing on it, so now the story doesn't matter. Now that you've done it, which is great, and you could make it something great with The Rock and John Cena, two of the biggest names joining forces to take down Cody Rhodes, and now we don't know why for at least 2 weeks, if not longer, because that's assuming in 2 weeks they tell us why, which they might not. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they'll play games. Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Enjoy the ride. The Rock takes you on. Shit.
That's what I'm saying.
So far, we've gotten them at Raw and Netflix, the Rumble, and the Chamber, right? 3? Yep. That's it?
Out of 35?
Okay. Yeah. So now he's doing 3 more dates, as far as I recall, at least. Maybe even more before Mania. So let's just assume he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more dates, and then Mania. Like, by the time Mania ends, then we'll already be a third of the way through his appearances. Like,
and he has to face Joe Hendry on TNA.
You only have so many chances with him to do the redemption arc, and it's like the problem is I think all the fans are just going to immediately be like, yay, like there's no arc there. Fans are just going to cheer him right away the second he apologizes.
Exactly.
Like then I just
so like, I don't know.
As a moment, like yeah, sure,
cool.
Everyone can be like, holy shit, what a fucking thing. But like when you try to put some logic onto it for a story and a long-term business thing, I honestly think this is the first thing I thought of was honestly this is going to be remembered as like this generation's Austin siding with McMahon, and it's not going to be remembered fondly.
And I can agree with that unless they do what Jay DeFalco says, and I think we can end it there tonight, where the ultimate redemption for John Cena would be if R-Truth picks up a defeated Cena and helps build back up his childhood hero. And you're giving a rub to a young up-and-comer in R-Truth. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please come back Tuesday Juice is taking the week off after hearing all this. He really isn't going to work. He knew this was going to happen. He planned this vacation time once he saw what happened last week on Saturday, and he will be back in a week and a half to hopefully a more restful and youthful self, and he'll be able to talk more about AEW and WWE.
With the way the last 2 weeks have gone, where we've gone off the air and it's been a whole different world. Like 2 weeks ago, we went off the air. The Rock was coming back.
The Rock was coming back. Last week we
went off the air, and then Cena turns heel. So when I come back in a week and a half, God knows where we're gonna be.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
This.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking up with us around with us this entire time. I apologize for my medical issues. Juice, thank you for being able to fit in this quick Thursday. I know you have a big week, a big 2 weeks with work and stuff, so I appreciate it, man. Next week you will be missed. I can't promise, but I hope there's no Juice slander while you're gone.
I held a lot back, by the way, so I almost want to. I want to keep going, but I got more. But we're gonna wrap up.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
More to come. See you.